day in West Texas for the Red Raiders and the Bears. Texas Tech fighting for first place in the Big 12 and a little national respect. They are 5-1 yet unranked and looking to make a statement against Baylor. It's already been another wild ride in the Big 12 with Tech, BYU, and Iowa State on top. The Cougs moving to 7-0 with that thrilling win last night over Oklahoma State. Hi everyone and welcome to Lubbock. I'm Beth Mullins along with Rod Gilmore. We've got Lauren Sisler with us down on the field. And for the Big 12 Conference and the Red Raiders, well, they are the talk of the town, but certainly around here in Lubbock, everybody wondering when that 5-1 record is going to get them a little national respect.
Yeah, there's a question about whether Texas Tech is real, and that's upsetting some folks. And we talked to some players yesterday, and they feel a little disrespected because the voters in the polls are giving Arizona State more votes than Texas Tech, and they beat Arizona State. But listen, there is no question about who leads this Texas Tech team, who the main man is, and he's one of the best running backs in the country. That's Taj Brooks. He leads the Big 12 in rushing. He's third overall, and in about 480 plus yards or so, he will become the all-time leading rusher at Texas Tech. He's a big dude, 230 pounds, but he's quick like a guy who's about 180 pounds. If you want to tackle this guy, you better bring your boys, because you're not going to do it by yourself. He is that good and that talented.
Yeah, in career rushing, he is second best amongst active players. Well, on the other side for Baylor, the Bears find themselves right now at the bottom of the Big 12, Rod, and really looking for a spark to salvage their season.
Yeah, they still have hopes of getting to a bowl game, which takes 6 wins, and they also feel for their head coach, Dave Aranda. There's so much noise around whether he is going to continue to be the coach here. That noise would quiet down with the win today.
It is homecoming weekend for Texas Tech, and it's a homecoming of sorts for Sawyer Robertson as well. The Baylor quarterback hailing from right here in Lubbock, the pride of the Coronado High School Mustangs. We are getting set for kick, and we'll hear from Lauren Sisler on the other side.
Hey, you know what? A little rain, a little wind never hurt nobody. Everyone is in the stands. The stands are packed. We're feeling the energy. We're ready for kickoff down here. And you guys talked about it up in the booth earlier, Beth and Rod, about the notoriety. These guys feeling a little disrespected, but you know, they said around campus, the energy has been real. They've had a lot of fun getting some of that notoriety, having guys check in with them, having fans snap pictures of them around campus. Taj Brooks said he rides around on his scooter and people love jumping in and saying hello to him. They said the notoriety's great. They love to see it. But at the end of the day, Baron Morton said, look, we got to keep that mentality. We're 1-0 to go out here every single day and keep having success.
Yeah, the buzz is back, Lauren, and they're looking to take it nationwide under head coach Joey McGuire now in his 3rd season. And the best start for a Tech head coach since 1977. The rain has stopped for the time being, 66 degrees, but you can see the wind could be gusting up to 60 miles per hour.
Yeah, and offensive coordinators and quarterbacks do not like wind.
Baylor winning the toss and deferring, so the kickoff headed the Red Raiders' way as the tortillas are tossed in the air here in Lubbock. Texas Tech will take over at the 25-yard line with their quarterback, Baron Morton, the junior out of Eastland, Texas. 11-2 as a starter, Rod. He's got 13 touchdowns without a turnover here at home.
And he's a local guy. Grew up here in Lubbock, always wanted to play for Tech. Finally won the job late last season, and if you haven't seen him play, he's got a strong arm, and he's more athletic than you probably realize. He doesn't run a lot, but when he does, he's effective.
Got 2 really good targets in Josh Kelly and Coy Aiken, and one of the top running backs in the country in Taj Brooks. And they'll fake it to Brooks, and Morton will carry it out across the 30-yard line.
You know, Morton has faced Baylor twice in his career. A couple of years ago, not a great game. He threw 3 picks in that game. Last season, he was outstanding. And they sort of ran wild over Baylor, and he was part of that. And Taj Brooks also, big game last year, 170 yards against this defense.
They will empty set and send 4 receivers to the left on 2nd and 5. Brooks motions back into the backfield. And with the ball in his belly, he is stuffed. shy of the 30-yard line, and a third down coming up. Steve Linton, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, already with a couple tackles.
Now how does that work? I mean, last year in that game, he had 3 sacks of the Baylor quarterback. And now today, he shows up wearing the other jersey, and he's already made a play.
Each team has a big-time defender that has switched jerseys from last year to this year. Third down and 5 here for Baron Morton. Quick release out into the flat, close to a first down, and they'll get it with the second effort for Josh Kelly, their leading receiver, with his 45th catch of the year.
Yeah, big effort by Kelly to spin out of that tackle and get the first down, because he's actually short of this when he catches the ball. But you see that the attempt to take him down by Johnson was kind of a way to try to block him down instead of wrapping him up.
First down and 10 from the 38. And it is Brooks, caught in the backfield and thrown down by Matt Jones. This Baylor Bears defense led by their linebackers, Jones and Keaton Thomas.
Yeah, they are really talented. We're going to see 2 sets of really good linebackers today. One set for Baylor and one for Texas Tech. Those 2 guys, Thomas and Jones, are almost equal in tackles made, leading this defense.
On second down and 8, Jacoby Williams, the freshman out of Beckville, Texas, is into the backfield. Josh Kelly with his second catch as Morton slings it out to him. They'll be a couple of yards shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, they're close to midfield. This will be a third down, but you know, you're getting to that point where it's kind of 4-down territory. And over the years, Joey McGuire has been very aggressive when he needed to go for 4th down. He sort of backed off that a little bit this season, saying not so much following the book, but really going by feel. So this 3rd down call will be interesting to see if we have a 4th down setup.
3rd down and 2. A couple of tight ends into the game for Texas Tech. Against a 5-man front here for Baylor. Brooks tries to bounce to the outside and again stuffed for a loss, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that was something that Baylor could not do last season. They could not corral Brooks when he tried to get outside. This time they hold the edge. Great effort on the outside there by Steve Linton, maintaining the edge and forcing the play back inside and making the tackle. And that's a meeting that Brooks told us yesterday he was looking forward to.
Matt Powledge, the defensive coordinator, even though Aranda calls the plays, he said holding that edge against Brooks was going to be critical today. And a collision on the punt, flags fly. Baylor able to jump on the loose ball, but that was a Texas Tech Red Raider running into Dre McCray before he had a chance to catch it.
That's probably not good. Not a good idea.
I'm going to guess there may be some penalty yardage involved here.
A lot of yellow flags out.
Was he pushed? That's going to be the question. I think that was 37.
Kick catching interference. Number 10 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So the first chance for the Baylor offense to get out there, and the hometown kid, Sawyer Robertson, at quarterback.
A homecoming for him. Young man has a chance to play in the stadium where he grew up watching Texas Tech football. Big fan of Graham Harrell over the years, and just loved this place and loved Mike Leach, late great Mike Leach, who was the coach at Mississippi State. So he followed Leach to go play for him, and now has come to Baylor and is their guy.
His high school stadium about 6 minutes down the road from here. He's been the starter for the last 4 games, replacing the injured DeQuan Finn. We were told by Baylor that Finn is healthy and would be available today if needed. As Robertson goes to work, and they'll run it on first down. Big collision up the middle. Again, a terrific second effort on that run. Jacob Rodriguez jumped in there to hit Bryson Washington, who kept going.
This offense is really a modified version of the air raid. As you see Washington on that replay getting a little bit of yardage. It's not a heavy run-based offense, but they've been lacking in the running area. They know they need balance that out.
They've had to throw a lot falling behind in games, and again, it's Washington. So it's been a running back room, Rod, a lot by committee due to injuries so far this year. Richard Reese does return today, but Dominic Richardson is still out.
Yeah, but they're missing a really big running back. And so what happens in that absence is that Robertson, the quarterback, winds up being the big back at times.
They'll run for it here on 3rd and short and get it. Washington, the redshirt freshman out of Franklin, Tennessee, had 106 yards rushing against Air Force. That is their only 100-yard rusher in a game this year.
Well, Jake Spavital is the offensive coordinator, and he was an air raid, dyed in the blue kind of guy, and he's since modified that to run the ball more.
He's looking for more explosive plays today. Those have been lacking, and there's a first down throw and catch. Nope, they're going to rule it incomplete. Intended for Ashton Hawkins.
Well, Hawkins is saying he caught it. He wants to have that reviewed. We should tell him every play is reviewed. Whether they stop the game or not is another issue.
Was Braylon Lux on the coverage?
You see Baylor is taking their time.
Well, you may be right there.
Hoping to get a review.
Field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
The call on the field has been reversed. It is a 15-yard completion for Baylor as they cross midfield.
Yeah, that replay shows arms underneath the ball.
Terrific catch for Ashton Hawkins. So 1st and 10 from the Texas Tech 44. First possession of the ball game for Baylor. And Sawyer Robertson. Bears coming in at 2-4. They're 0-3 in the Big 12 against a tough schedule to open up the season. And that ball is dropped out on in the flat, intended for Bryson Washington.
You know, if you haven't followed this rivalry between Baylor and Texas Tech, there is a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it, cross-pollination.
A lot of familiarity.
We told you about Linton, but there are 12 Texas Tech staffers, coaches, who came over from Baylor.
Including head coach Joey McGuire. Another incompletion, the coverage by Braylon Lux on Hawkins, and it's 3rd down and 10.
That's a great play by Lux. We're talking about a guy who's reading the quarterback's eyes and broke on the release and made that play. That should have been an easy throw and catch, but Braylon Lux made it no go.
Robertson keeps. And another drop out on the edge, looking for Monterey Baldwin. So they had chances on all 3 of those tosses, and they all fall incomplete. It's 4th down.
It is so hard to win in any conference, and the Big 12 is so evenly matched. These little things make a difference. They've had close games. They've lost close games, but these little things, whether it's a penalty, a fumble late, a drop ball, it all makes it so much difficult to win.
Coy Aiken is back deep here to receive the punt on 4th and 10 from Palmer Williams. He'll try and drop it inside the 10-yard line. And that will bound into the end zone for the touchback. Each side has had it once, scoreless here at Jones AT&T Stadium. That bind in the family atmosphere between these two coaching staffs. Look at a young Dave Aranda as a grad assistant back in the early 2000s. And of course, Joey McGuire, a former Baylor assistant under Matt Rule and Dave Aranda.
Yeah, Joey McGuire was hired by Matt Rule, and then when Matt Rule left, Aranda and McGuire both went after the head coaching job at Baylor. Aranda got it. McGuire figured he was leaving. Aranda asked him to stay. He did, and they've become close friends over the years. And this is a very emotional game, more so I think for Aranda than McGuire. McGuire's like, I've gotten used to this. We're trying to do something really big. And Aranda's like, you know, he knows me so well. He knows my things.
Joey's son, a former walk-on quarterback at Baylor, and then when Joey got the job here, he brought about a dozen men and women with him as part of his coaching staff and support staff. And the first pass incompletion from Baron Morton. One of the things that we'll keep an eye on, one of their tight ends, John Carlos Miller, number 18 in red. He might be doing some double duty today and may get some snaps on the defensive side of the ball as well. He was the intended receiver out there.
He is a talented tight end. 6'5", 240. They have 3 tight ends that they use an awful lot.
And look at, he's lining up in the backfield right here, along with Taj Brooks.
False start. Number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Kevin Boitman, our referee today. Jeff Hansen, Ashley Miller in the replay booth.
Let's take a look to the left side. Just a twitch, it's all it takes.
Yep. On second down and 15. Dropping it off to Brooks out of the backfield, and he motors his way out to around the 25. Gets 10 of those yards back. Devin Bobby knocked him out. It's third down and 5.
Just another way to get him the football, get him out of the backfield. He is a complete back. He can catch it, he can run it, and he can pass protect.
To throw right at the line to gain, and reaching for it and getting it is Coy Aiken. Really good back on third down that Morton likes to look for.
Clean pocket, plenty of time, and when you don't affect the quarterback, you're going to have problems. Nice route by Cowboy Coy.
Dad, a former rodeo coach. Coy used to ride.
I didn't know they had coaches.
First and 10. Morton fakes the pitch, gives it to Brooks. He'll get out across the 35. For more on Cowboy Coy, here's Lauren.
Y'all, I just love that nickname, Cowboy Coy. He's Barron's safety blanket, as you mentioned. His dad coaches rodeo. He's a country boy from West Texas. Loves football, cares deeply about how he plays and affects his teammates. He's been very consistent for this football team. And the best part, y'all, if he gets in the end zone, we might see ourselves pretty cool celebration dance.
Country boy, she drops a y'all in there,
I heard that.
Yeah.
Second down and 6 out of the gun. The check down, and it is Miller who again started out lining up as the fullback. May have lost a yard there, so here comes another third down with a flag on the play.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That is their most experienced lineman, Caleb Rogers, who's making his 49th consecutive start today.
Yeah, 6'5", 310, and he gets a complete wrestling takedown. That'll draw the attention of all the officials. This is a defense that really believes in trying to take away the big play. So a little bit of bend, don't break, a lot of 2 safeties playing deep, too high.
3-man pressure on second and 16, and another well-executed defensive stop for Baylor. Matt Jones got to Coy Aiken. It's third down and long.
Yeah, 2 safeties playing deep, 5 playing underneath coverage and running right into Matt Jones's area.
Jones already having an impact, the 6th-year man out of Odessa, Texas.
It's a big third down, and you'll see that look once again. 2 safeties playing deep, and you'll see how do they protect the quarterback.
Morton with pressure coming into his face, incomplete, and it's fourth down.
He had more time than he thought. I think he realized that there was pressure coming, but it was picked up, and he rushed that a little bit.
Well, they got set back by the penalty and couldn't recover from it, so fourth down. And Jack Burgess on to punt Josh Cameron back around his own 35.
Burgess, another Australian punter. I think about half the punters in the Power 4 come from Australia.
And that is a wobbler. And that is off the side of his foot, and not a good effort from Burgess. And let's see where the officials walk it back up to. And Baylor will have it right around their own 40-yard line after just a 32-yard boot.
Football is presented by Sling. Choose and customize your channel lineup. Sling lets you do that.
Now the homecoming parade here in Lubbock on this homecoming weekend, and another sellout crowd. The buzz is back for Texas Tech football at 5-1, tied for first place in the Big 12 coming into the weekend, and trying to match BYU's win from last night. As Baylor picks up a first down. Iowa State playing later tonight, the other team unbeaten in league play. And now the Bears trying to build off of a bad punt to set them up with good field position. Robertson with time, and the pass thrown out of bounds.
The Texas Tech defense is somewhat unpredictable. I mean, they don't blitz you an awful lot, but Tim DeRuiter, the defensive coordinator, mixes up his coverages. You will get some man coverage, you'll get some press man, he'll play some 3 deep out of it, some quarters, but you're never really sure. So it's a bit of a challenge for Robertson to make sure he is checking to see what he's getting.
A run with it, and a big burst off the left edge. Inside the 5-yard line, looking for the pylon is Washington, and he's in. Touchdown, Baylor. 45 yards as he got to the outside.
Well, Beth, we were just talking about the man coverage. They went press man, and so the edge had to be set, not by the corner, but by the linebacker to that side. And it is not set. Great blocking on the edge, opened up the outside. Washington took full advantage of that. That is a tremendous run, tremendous blocking on the edge to open things up and take advantage of the fact that really didn't have any outside help from the corners because they were locked in man coverage.
Isaiah Hankins on for the extra point. Palmer Williams with the hold. They are still taking a look at whether or not he got inside that pylon and not out of bounds.
The previous play is under further review.
He's probably checking to see if he stepped out.
Heels slid out from under him and touched the line.
That is such a great effort, though, to finish that run, to get his body, his pads into the end zone. Washington is really sort of the biggest back with Dominic Richardson out. He's 203 pounds. Runs a bit bigger.
Let's see, where does that heel slide out of bounds? Right there.
Yeah, I don't know if that happened before he broke the plane.
See
where the ball breaks the plane.
Oh.
Remember, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Call is a touchdown, but it looks like he came up just short.
Yep, maybe.
After further review, the runner was out of bounds with the ball at the half-yard line. It will be first down at that spot.
They don't get the 6, Rod, but they've been looking for a spark. They've been looking for an explosive play. They get one here.
Yeah, this is the way you create momentum. It's something that Dave Aranda's talked about, that his team needs a spark. They need to have some confidence. The confidence that they had when they went to play Colorado kind of slipped away after that game. He wasn't there the following week against BYU, and they've been trying to get it back since then. And a good start today, getting into the end zone, might be that kind of spot.
See if they give Washington another chance to get the touchdown here.
Oh, you know he is. You know he's been saying, "Give me the ball back again."
Washington, right up the gut, and he's in. Touchdown, Baylor.
Nothing fancy about this. Straight ahead blocking, and Washington showing his power as he gets into the end zone. And that's the right thing to do. You give him the football. He did all the work to get it to the half-yard line. Let him finish it off. And this Big 12 conference, and there's a player down. I can't see the number.
That's due to Banks, one of their defensive linemen, nose tackle.
Talking about the Big 12 and how competitive it is, how crazy it is. Close games every week. Wild game last night between Oklahoma State and BYU. There'll be a lot more of that to come. I hope that Banks is okay down there.
Well, they are keeping him down. You can see his frustration. And they are going to the cart and bringing it off the near sideline to take it down towards Banks.
That's unfortunate. Even or 4-2.
The other loss to Utah was actually a non-conference loss, but 3 of their 4 losses have been to ranked opponents.
Kickoff out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
And so after a bad Texas Tech special teams play, Baylor counters with one of their own, and it's out to the 35-yard line for Tech.
Yeah, a little momentum having been created for Baylor. Now Texas Tech has to answer. They've not done anything offensively in this game so far. So to keep the momentum from staying with Baylor, they need to answer, and Brooks has to get involved. He's not been heavily involved in the rushing game so far in this ball game. 4
attempts for just 5 yards. They've tried to throw it 7 times for 33 yards. The Texas Tech offense that's accustomed to putting up close to 40 points per game. That's top 20 in the country. They go for the deep ball here, and there's going to be a pass interference penalty on Baylor intended for Coy Aiken. It was Carl Williams, the nickelback, on the coverage.
Well, that is a matchup that Texas Tech is working to get. They want their slot receivers on the nickelback and the safeties. That's a matchup that they feel is favorable. And most matchups with the receiver against a safety type is a benefit to the offense.
And one of the things Dave Aranda was talking about this week, coming off of that Colorado loss, not getting the outcomes the last couple of weeks, he said, hey, we've got to, as coaches, we've got to be calling a better game. Of course, he takes care of the defense.
Number 15, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, we got to have a defense that's making some plays for us.
Yeah, in this instance, Williams has to find the ball. You know, once you catch up to a receiver, now you're in position. Now you have to play. Now find the ball. And if you find the ball, that flag doesn't come out. Every week I talk to the officials about that. And they say, hey, the problem is these guys don't find the ball. If they play the ball, I'm not pulling the flag.
1st and 10 here for Texas Tech from midfield. It's Brooks. He darts to the outside. Hurdles over a defender at the 40-yard line for a couple more.
Oh, my. You know how much power that takes for a 230-pound man to jump over somebody? But, you know, this is a guy who can squat 600 pounds. 600 pounds. So he's got power. Oh, the lift he got on that.
That was Lorando Johnson in the role of the hurdle there for the Bears as Brooks went airborne. Another 1st and 10. More Brooks, this time off the left side.
So patient. He is so patient, but when he decides to go, he accelerates and he's powerful. Last season in this game, he ran for $170, and most of that was inside. They handled Baylor up front inside.
Why not? They'll try it again. Bounces to the outside. And there's another example of that patience, down to the 25 for a first down.
When you think he's moving in slow motion, he's almost lulling you to sleep. Watch all the time he takes to find the spot, and then when he decides to go, it doesn't take him long. He is so explosive when he changes direction or when he decides to run into you.
More first down yardage as they inch closer to the red zone. Sling out to Kelly. The outside, thrown for a loss. Corey Gordon had the coverage. The other thing, too, about Taj Brooks is he'll come out for a breather. He's been over 100 yards in every game this year, and he missed their only loss. Something for the voters to also keep in their hip pocket deeper into the season.
That Washington State game, and that might be the only reason that they have a loss. He did not play in that ball game, and that was a huge, huge takeaway from that offense.
Jacoby Williams will spell him here. 2nd and 12. Morton looks. I believe that's Williams out of the backfield. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Kyler Jordan with the stop, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and Baylor giving Texas Tech a steady dose of 4 or 5 underneath defenders covering most of those short zone areas. And this 3rd down, this is where you're going to get Baylor's best effort at getting to the quarterback.
His 3rd down guy is Coy Aiken to the top of your screen. And movement up front.
I think that was Robert Stay, number 50 inside. That might have jumped a little bit.
Offside, number 50, defense, entering the neutral zone and making contact. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
3rd and long to 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, he's one of their 3rd down pass rushing specialists. He's a guy who is new to playing defensive line. He started out his career as a running back and a tight end and ate his way to defensive line. And he's a real player, but he jumped that time.
You think he's got a big upside.
Big future.
3rd down and 3. Brooks is back in there. He gets the call, and he does not have the first down. It's 4th and 1. Good burst by Keaton Thomas, and again, Jordan up the gut.
Well, we said it. If you're going to tackle him, bring your buddies. And they did a nice job of having 3 guys surrounding him. Here's your 4th down situation, and Joey McGuire, not settling for the field goal here, has left his offense on the field.
4th and 1 at the 16 on their feet here in Lubbock. Brooks finds a seam, and he's got it. And the push forward all the way down to the 12-yard line.
You can feel good about a 4th and short when you've got a guy like Brooks back there. 230 pounds. Good blocking by the tight end on that side.
Well, you called for it, Rod, and you're getting it. 5 rushing yards their first 2 possessions, 31 rushing yards on this drive for Taj Brooks. They'll use him as the decoy. Into the back of the end zone, caught for a touchdown, Caleb Douglas.
One of the things Dave Aranda told us was that Joey McGuire knows him so well. He knows what Aranda likes to do with red zone coverages down there, and that he had to tweak and change things because he knew McGuire had him wired for it. Well, regardless of whether McGuire knew, they ran a perfect little stutter inside route against that zone coverage down there to get the touchdown in the back of the end zone.
Gino Garcia to tie it up, and he does. They go to Taj Brooks to get him close, and then Morton in the air to Caleb Douglas to finish it off.
Douglas is a big target also, 6'4". And Morton knows darn well all he has to do is get that ball up there and let his big, tall receiver pluck it out of the air.
1:47 to go here in the first, all square, and a reminder that 2 losses and you were done.
Yep.
But 2 losses does not eliminate you yet this year.
How cool is it that we are in late October And we're going to go into November talking about 20 to 28, 30 teams that will be alive and in the hunt.
Going to be terrific. Texas Tech is hoping they are one of them with a 5-1 record now atop the conference with BYU and Iowa State. Right now, Iowa State is the highest ranked, which they would be in prime position if they win the Big 12 championship to get in the playoff. Right now, it only looks like one team may go.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for the Big 12 to get 2 teams. But if you wind up having a couple of teams in that Big 12 championship game that are undefeated, or one undefeated and one with 1 loss, they might have a shot.
Back to work for the Bears and Sawyer Robertson in his return home here to Lubbock. Went to high school just down the road. They'll run it out across the 30. So here is the chance to make that CFP for teams entering this week. And BYU, of course, picking up another win last night.
Yeah. It's amazing how competitive this conference is.
Iowa State and the job that they are doing with Rocco Becht at the helm. Short yard, a couple of yards, it looks like maybe the pickup on that pass, and it's 3rd down. It has not been a good scoring defense or passing defense statistically, but this Red Raiders squad gets it done with turnovers and takeaways. That's been their specialty.
They've had trouble affecting the quarterback, trouble hitting the quarterback, trouble sacking the quarterback.
Looking for some pressure off the edge, and they'll get it. Ball pops loose. Flags fly as Robertson runs for it. He dives forward for 1st down yardage, but it looks like a hold at the other end.
Yeah, Texas Tech came with a blitz and kind of overwhelmed the Baylor offensive line. And Robertson had to ad-lib.
It was Isaac Smith coming off the edge.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
And to the right of your screen, you'll see that there is pressure coming inside Jacob Rodriguez and Isaac Smith, 17 off the edge. And the hold in the backfield.
That was on Sidney Fugar, the left guard, who has moved out to play left tackle now.
Well, last year, Texas Tech had 6 sacks against Baylor.
Receiver screen, and not much doing for Hawkins, and it's 4th down. And they will have to punt it away to start the 2nd quarter. Baylor strikes first, Texas Tech counters. In a 7-7 ball game, the Masked Rider enjoying homecoming. After the Bears got a boost, the Red Raiders rolled right back at them. Thank you, Kevin. We've got a little sunshine peeking through the clouds for the first time in a few days.
Is that a coincidence? We get Kevin Connors and then we get a little sunshine?
He brings the sunshine.
Okay.
So a penalty here on the punt will send Baylor back a few steps. Coy Aiken around his own 30-yard line. Williams will be kicking this from inside his own 5. Oh, he bobbled it, but no pressure was coming, so the kick is away and it bounds Baylor's way. And this one will dribble down inside the 20-yard line to the 18. Hey, there's the Taco Bell Live Ma student section right in there. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Ma student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. All even at 7 apiece as the Red Raider offense heads back out there with Baron Morton.
This is an underrated site for games, an underrated student section. This is a terrific venue for college football, and they just really turn on the energy and enthusiasm here.
Beautiful new south end zone complex. Drop off here to Josh Kelly, and after a slow start their first couple of drives, Tech got it going in that last drive. They may have remembered, Rod, to play with no regrets, which was the phrase of the week in practice.
Yeah, now that comes from Joey Miller taking a clip from the movie Meet the Millers.
Oh, Coach McGuire, yeah.
Coach McGuire, yeah. Cutting a clip of that and showing it to the team.
Yeah, don't listen to all that outside noise, even though we're 5-1 and first in the standings. The throw across underneath. Lauren, what you got for us?
Yeah, and you got to love the movie, We're the Millers. And the no regrets, it was the tattoo, it was misspelled. I got no regrets, right? But what does that mean this week? It's not getting beat because of the things we don't do, like studying enough film, missing recovery time. This team understands the opportunity that is in front of them. So it's remembering your why. And Coach McGuire said, look, you got to remember your why, remember your family, and think about why you're here and why you're having the success you're having so far this season.
It's big for them to take care of business today because they are at TCU next weekend and then at Iowa State November 2nd in what could be a showdown of undefeated teams. Good pursuit on the edge after the catch for Caleb Douglas.
Yeah, the thing we've learned about this conference, though, is every game is just a war. And even an 0-3 Oklahoma State team last night went to face BYU and took them down to the wire. So, you know, nothing is a gimme in this conference, including today's game, because, you know, you see Baylor growing in confidence a little bit, especially defensively, because they got ran out of the park last year against Texas Tech. And they're hanging in there defensively today.
And the beauty of the Big 12 is Brooks is wrapped up in the backfield. The expectations and then what it looks like when you play it out can be a whole lot different. Look at what the preseason prognosticators thought, and look at what we've got through the first 8 weeks.
That is amazing.
BYU was 13th in the preseason. Iowa State 6th, Texas Tech 9th.
Wow.
And there they are on the top. Arizona State 14th in the preseason poll.
Morton has to remember what he's facing defensively. Baylor really trying to take away deep throws.
3rd down and 12. Using his legs to buy some time, and the catch is made. Nope, incomplete on the Baylor sideline, out of bounds. Steve Linton and Keaton Thomas were getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, Baylor is doing a much better job of getting pressure on Morton, and a lot of that is from Steve Linton, the guy who came over to Baylor from Texas Tech.
He's having a whale of a day.
Oh yeah, already.
That'll force the punt. Jack Burgess is on. Josh Cameron back at his own 25. Headed his way, and they'll give it a go. Breaks through the first line of would-be tacklers. He's just got the punter to beat. Cameron stays inbounds down the far sideline and hauled down inside the 5. No, they're going to say he got in. Touchdown. On the return.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
You can't be on my way, bud.
Beth, this is all because of the punt. It's a line drive, and it doesn't give the defense enough time to set up. It is a line drive, and that allows Cameron to catch it on the move and get right up into the middle of what should have been coverage. But because the ball got there so quickly, he was able to get going before the coverage got in place. And that is all because of the punt. It should never be a line drive like that. He was trying to, you know, kind of kick it to the side and get a roll, but it went right to Cameron.
Now Texas is playing the stall game because his foot dragged out of bounds inside the 1-yard line, but did he have the football breaking the plane? The back heel does end up hitting the pylon.
Yeah, it's a question of whether the ball crossed the pylon, even extended.
The ruling in the field of a touchdown is under further review.
So this is the second time this has happened to Baylor. They were ruled to be just short, did end up punching it in the first quarter, and now another close look at the goal line. As it stands, it's a punt return touchdown for Baylor. No touchdown. It'll be first and goal from inside the 1. It still does stand, Rod, as their longest play of the season at 73 yards on that punt return.
I believe they were the only team not to have a play over 50 yards. Only team in the Big 12, clearly.
And now so they've got 2 explosives today.
Yeah, and that was John Carlos Miller making the touchdown-saving tackle, the tight end / two-way player today for Texas Tech.
In the first quarter, in this situation, they went to Bryson Washington, and he is the tailback here on first and goal, looking for the lead. And looking for a big shot in the arm for this Baylor program that's been reeling the last couple of weeks, and they will get that touchdown. Second of the day for Washington.
Another really good push inside by this Baylor offensive line, and Washington feeling it just to the left. We saw the penetration on the right side and was able to get just enough inside before he was pushed back. And you can sort of feel the sense of belief and confidence that Baylor is starting to show.
As they get ready to attempt the extra point here, Isaiah Hankins. You know, with social media and everybody, you know, reads the newspapers and listens to the podcasts and watches Sports Center. And
yep.
So they know around Waco right there, when you talk about head coach Dave Aranda, there's been some heat under that seat. And the Bears have shown up and have shown out here in this first half with a lot of heart and with a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Well, 2021 seems so long ago to a lot of, you know, Baylor fans. 12-2, first place, a Sugar Bowl win over Ole Miss. And since then, 6-7, 3-9, and 2-4. The 2-4, again, we talked about it earlier, a little deceiving because it's not like they were blown out of these games. These were close games. The Colorado game, they should have won. It slipped away from them. They were, I think, suffering from a hangover when they played BYU and fell behind in that game, but then had a mad dash and lost that game by 6. So I think he was right when he said we got to have some belief and confidence, and when momentum comes, they need to take advantage of it, and they have momentum right now.
Fugar is the injured player, and let's send it down to Lauren.
And you talk about confidence, even in warm-ups, watching these guys on the sideline, you wouldn't know that their record is what it is right now. And you said it there, Rod. Aranda said we have to have the belief. We got to keep the fight going, and we have to, you know, keep going even in these tight games. We've lost some tight games, but I think the difference is the belief, the confidence to not back down, to keep pushing through. He said the ability to continue to have confidence and keep showing up, that's where the win is.
I thought it was fascinating yesterday in talking with him that he referenced Walker Buehler, the pitcher for the Dodgers. Now, Aranda is a huge Dodgers fan, having grown up in Southern California, and he talked about how Walker Buehler was the ace of the staff, all-star pitcher, and then had some trouble, had an elbow injury, had Tommy John surgery, and then kind of became a middle-of-the-road guy. But when the Dodgers needed him to step up this season in the postseason, he delivered a brilliant performance. And Aranda said it just was inspiring for him that you just keep grinding. And that's what he says he does and what he tells his team to do. Be like Walker Buehler.
Be like Buehler.
Be like Buehler.
Even though they are down greatly in time of possession, they are up where it counts, and that's on the scoreboard. And they may have come up with another huge play with their special teams. Scooping up the loose ball, Rod Dilworth takes it into the end zone. And a scoop-in score for Baylor.
Well, if that's a muff, I don't think he can scoop and score the muff. This was a kick that was squibbed to make it difficult to handle, and it was.
The free kick was never recovered by the receiving team. It is a muff by rule. The ball was legally recovered by the kicking team. It is dead at that spot. First down, Baylor.
Well, that's a tough break for Baylor. It was not a fumble.
Yeah, it was difficult to handle. They never got possession of it. That is clear from the replay. You'll see the ball just kind of slipping away. Dre McCray trying to come up with it, can't. And so a muff cannot be returned. No scoop and score.
So Texas Tech will have possession just inside their own 20. And they dodge one there. Excuse me. Baylor will
ball.
have it just inside the 20. First and 10 with the short field and a chance to add on to the 14-7 advantage.
Yeah, a lot of man coverage on the outside.
They're trying to run it. And spinning inside is Washington.
Well, the receivers for Baylor have to win those matchups. If Texas Tech is going to play man coverage on the outside and commit a safety, say get in the box and stop the run, they have to win the matchups on the outside. Texas Tech plays a lot of man-free coverage, and your receivers have to win that or you won't be able to run the ball.
Second down and 8. These are the moments that offensive coordinator Jake Spavital said, we have to win today. When our defense or special teams gets us the ball, we need to win one on the offensive side this afternoon. The pitch to Baldwin, looking for the corner, and he's run out of bounds inside the 15. It'll be third down and 4.
Baldwin is an amazing athlete. He made Bruce Feldman's freak list because he can bench press 405 pounds and he runs 23+ miles per hour. He's incredibly fast, and they're going to need some of that here on this third down because they are into the boundary, wide field to the left, 3 receivers that way. Texas Tech, will they play man again?
Number 4 of the defense's helmet came off. He must go out for 1 down.
That's safety Marion Horn, replaced by Devin Cromwell.
Looks like zone coverage for Tech.
On third down and 5, and that may have been batted down at the line of scrimmage by Charles Esters.
Yeah.
And it's fourth down.
What a stand. What a stand by the Texas Tech defense. Sudden change when your offense or special teams forces the defense out there in a hurry, you're not expecting it, and there's a lot of discombobulation going on. It's a sudden change. You got to get out there, get your composure, and get settled and play. They just did it. That is textbook. Backed up against your own goal line, and they shut it down.
Huge win there for Tim DeRuyter's defense to hold them to the field goal attempt. Here's Hankins. And he's got it. Baylor, off of the turnover, has to settle for 3, but nonetheless, up 10 here in the second. And the wind, an issue. Baylor taking advantage their last 10 points coming off of big special teams plays, including a 73-yard punt return to set up a touchdown. And then taking possession deep in Texas Tech territory off of the muffed punt. Or excuse me, the muffed kickoff. This one, they're going to bring it out. Dre McCray, and he is not going to get to the 15-yard line.
He was not very decisive.
No, smashed there by Josh White.
Yeah, he was in the end zone and wasn't sure whether he should bring it out. If you hesitate, you cannot take it out. Things happen way too fast on kickoff coverage for you to take that long. And so they're going to be starting at their own 15 instead of having taken a knee and starting at their 25.
So the #1 scoring offense in the Big 12, off to a slow start. They've been really good in first quarters and first halves, have the Red Raiders. But Baylor with the advantage so far this afternoon. Baron Morton on the rollout. And did he hang on to it for a first down? Yes, he did. Coy Aiken.
You know, what Dave Aranda is doing with this defense in this game has been phenomenal. They've taken away the deep shots. Texas Tech cannot throw the ball down the field against this defense. Yet, they've committed enough to the run to keep Taj Brooks in check. Remember, this is a defense that gave up 265 yards rushing in their last game against Iowa State. And Brooks had 170 against them last year. They have really shut down the rushing attack and not allowed Tech to throw the ball down the field.
12 carries, 36 yards so far for Taj. And the time to drop it off for Brooks, and then he's caught from behind for a short gain.
Remember, Aranda told us yesterday he had been rusty as a defensive coordinator calling the defense because he hadn't done it since 2019. And I've always wondered why we do that. Why we take a person who's an expert at something and say, no, you should just manage things now. It happens in every industry. I mean, the tech industry and business. And take guys, engineers, and say, okay, you be the CEO. The stuff you used to do, don't do it anymore.
3rd down and 5, bobbled and falls incomplete. Intended for John Carlos Miller. And it's 4th down. And the Baylor defense holds once again.
Yeah, one of the things that's happening out there is that you're getting so many good hits by this Baylor defense. They're allowing catches in front of them, and they're coming up and they're hitting guys really hard that the receivers know they're going to get some contact. There's not going to be any place to go.
Cameron is back deep. Burgess. Josh had a huge return the last time he touched it. End over end. He'll try again, and he's hit immediately at the 28-yard line, and that's where Baylor will take over with the 17-7 advantage. And 8:45 to go here in this first half. Texas Tech trying to hold on to first place in the Big 12. Baylor looking for a huge road win to get their season back on track. There you see the Baylor drive chart, 10 points the last 2 times they've had it, and they only needed 1 minute and 10 seconds.
How aggressive will Baylor be offensively? That is the question right now. Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator, air raid guy, likes to have some trick plays, but has been trying to be balanced today.
Robertson checks it down. Washington out to the 40-yard line, and that'll move the sticks. He's been their go-to guy.
Robertson is really maturing as a quarterback. He said one of the most important things to happen to him was that he got a text from Mike Leach the same day Mike Leach passed, the last text that he had with him.
Looking for a deep ball, incomplete.
And in that text, Leach told him, don't overthink anything, just react. You're at your best when you react. And Robertson said that became sort of his mantra for everything, not just football, but that on the football field, it's helped him just relax and play and not overthink what's going on out there.
Looking at a 2nd and 10 right here.
Remember, this is a homecoming for Robertson, who grew up here, came to Texas Tech games, but went to Mississippi State to play for Mike Leach.
6 for 12 so far. Gets it to the outside. Hawkins looking to make a play. He'll be a yard short as we check in with Lauren.
Yeah, Rod, and I actually talked with his high school football coach, Seth Parr, and really it's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He got a lot of great offers, but never got one here right in his backyard from Texas Tech. He's faced a lot of adversity, setbacks, rejection, but he just keeps going, keeps working, keeps grinding, and he just doesn't give up.
And he's looking to convert a 3rd and 1 right here. Empty set.
Down. Huge 3rd down.
Robertson to the outside, and it's a 1st down into Texas Tech territory to Josh Cameron.
Cameron is a big target, 6'1", 220 pounds. He can take a little punishment on these inside routes. So it's an easy throw for Robertson.
Has a 100-yard receiving game. the only one for Baylor this year, coming against BYU. Robertson looking his way again, incomplete.
There was nothing there. Marion Horn had Cameron wrapped up. And that was really just, let's throw the ball away and come back and play the next down. And if you're Texas Tech defensively, this is where you have to be alert of a double move, a deep throw, that sort of thing. This is that area of the field.
We have had 2 explosive plays already in this first half. 2nd down and 10 here for Robertson. They'll elect to run with it. Dawson Pendergrass, the sophomore from Alba, Texas, bottled up. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Again, this is 4-down territory. You don't have to get all of it for the 1st down here. And remember, helmet communication. Probably a good idea that Spavital is reminding him, you don't need to get it all on 3rd down. Take what's available.
The pass incomplete. Intended for Hal Presley. Braylon Lux was there to break it up. It's 4th down and 7.
That's great coverage. That is great coverage. You cannot anticipate any better than Lux did. Time it any better. Left arm behind the receiver on him, not an issue. You can hook a receiver. You just can't turn him. As long as you're playing the ball, you're fine. You're clean. That is a really, really good play.
Well, and since they didn't pick up any yardage there, they will send the punting unit out and then turn to their defense, see if they can pin Tech deep here. They've been able to keep the Red Raider attack quiet so far. High kick towards the goal line, and that will be tipped back out. And down at the 2-yard line. That one saying down at the 2, the other official saying a touchback around the goal line, and the touchback apparently will win out.
Yeah, it's not about where the player is, it's about the ball.
Yeah. 6:03. So this has been the story of the ball game so far. The Baylor defense keeping the Tech offense in check, and just like that, it's Taj time. 1st down run for Brooks.
Yeah, the #1 goal for the Baylor defense coming in was to shut down Brooks on the inside running game, the inside zone play in particular. And they'd done that up until that play. And you just knew Texas Tech was going to come back at it. But the question up front for Baylor is, how do they play their defensive line? Are they going to keep playing a 4-man front or a 3-man front? They've had more success with the 3-man front against the inside run.
That was Brooks' longest run of the day at 12 yards, his 2nd of 10 or better. Tried to stutter step, show a little patience, and Baylor was there. Keaton Thomas and Kyler Jordan.
When they play the 3-man front, they have a big guy over the center. And that makes it a little bit more difficult for Texas Tech to run inside, because you got to try and move that big guy. But Baylor normally likes to play with a 4-man front, and they leave the center uncovered. And when they do that, Texas Tech is more inclined to run inside.
They've got 3 here with the center covered. Morton feels the pressure, steps away from it, and now will run with it. Jumped out of bounds outside the 40.
Just to make sure that folks at home, when you hear folks talk about an even front and an odd front, an even front is 4 down linemen and the center is uncovered. When you hear them talk about an odd front, that is 3 down linemen and the center is covered, and in this case the edge guys are playing inside the shoulder of the tackles. That's called the 4-eye technique.
Play action. Morton thinking deep, and now runs out of time and slammed to the turf by Matt Jones. Their veteran leader getting to the quarterback, and Morton's helmet comes off, and he will step aside for a play.
This is Matt Jones' 6th year. He was close to entering the portal or heading to the NFL, but Dave Aranda recruited him to stick around Baylor for this season. and he has, and that was a tremendous sack. Morton hanging on to the ball a bit too long.
Timeout. Texas Tech, the first of the half.
And a timeout here for Texas Tech. Initially, they had Will Hammond, who's not even on there too deep, coming in at quarterback there. Since Morton has to sit a play with the helmet popping off.
Well, they love.
Now they call a timeout.
Yeah, this coaching staff loves Hammond. He's a freshman out of Austin, Texas. He was highly touted, and all season long, we were here earlier for their game against Cincinnati. The staff told us back then that they thought he would be their #2 quarterback at some point during the season. And 2 weeks later, they're turning him for this temporary situation where the helmet came off of Baron Morton.
But they called the timeout on 2nd and 16.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to stay out of play.
So Morton can go back in. 13 of 17, 72 yards, and the 12-yard touchdown pass to Caleb Douglas. But that's been it so far for a team averaging nearly 40 points a game.
Again, deep shots aren't really available the way Baylor's playing defense.
Brooks again showing that patience and a little stutter step and a cut out to the 45.
Have you ever seen a running back like that with 230 pounds that can be that patient, stutter step, jump cut, and then get up to full speed?
They need 7 yards here to keep the drive alive. Morton will switch it up. 2 for 7 so far today on 3rd down conversions. And they'll get one here down to the 35-yard line, and a big pass play to Caleb Douglas.
Oh, you saw the arm strength there. He had a clean pocket, as this is a slow developing route. And he's got a clean pocket, comes back, and makes a brilliant throw to Douglas.
Pick up a 20. Incomplete, looking for Aiken downfield. Reggie Bush had the coverage.
That was a very smart adjustment there by Morton, because it's one of the few times there was simply man coverage on the outside with no deep help. He recognized it and took a shot at it.
2nd down and 10. Against 4-man pressure. He's got a man, and the catch is made for another 1st down inside the 25. And Caleb Douglas has been the go-to.
Yeah, the zone coverage up top has been really soft on that side for Baylor. They're giving Douglas a lot of room between the corner and the safety and the linebacker. He's just settling in that triangle in between the 3 of them.
5 catches for Kelly, 4 for Douglas now, 46 yards. And Cowboy Coy has 3 catches. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Brooks to the 20, and that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Matt Jones with yet another tackle. Baylor with the lead, but the Red Raiders on the move and into the red zone. On at the academies. Whew.
You know, they've been paying those guys for years.
And very well deserved.
Absolutely.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Texas Tech on the move, and a trick play to try and get some more points, and they've got it. Jalen Conyers to Caleb Douglas for 6.
Anytime Conyers is in the backfield, the defense ought to know something's up. He is a tight end and former quarterback, and yeah, he can throw that football. And he knows he's got a 6'4" wide receiver in Douglas, and he put that ball up and away, out of harm's way, where he knew Douglas could go get it.
Catching touchdowns from 2 different guys is Caleb Douglas. And the trick play from 20 yards out caps a 10-play, 80-yard drive in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. And the extra point is good. 1:54 to go, and it's a 3-point game here in the second quarter.
That was a must-score drive for Texas Tech to limit the momentum for Baylor and to get back into this game because they were down 10. And that drive, that was Morton. I mean, your quarterback in that situation had to deliver because Baylor was doing a good job of kind of containing Brooks. And he made throw after throw on that drive, and then they finished it off with the trick play.
He's hit 75% of his throws here in the first half. As Baron Morton, the first year that he has known since winter and spring that he was going to be the guy. Had come on the last 2 years at times when Tyler Shuck was injured. But this year he knew he was going to be the starter and has taken it and run with it.
Well, you know, he was the highest rated recruit in Texas Tech history until this year when Micah Hudson came in as a 5-star. And there were a lot of comparisons to Patrick Mahomes. And he has, not been the gunslinger of Mahomes. He's settled down a little bit in the last year.
By far the best drive of the day for the Red Raider offense.
Yeah, and it really was, you know, these deep in routes against that soft zone coverage that Morton and Douglas got together on. They found that hole in front of the safety, behind the corner, and just away from the linebacker, and then allowed their tight end, de jour, Jalen Conyers, to come in and finish it off with a little trickeration.
Baylor with 3 timeouts, Texas Tech with 2. Look at the difference in time of possession, but not on the scoreboard. Baylor with the 3-point advantage. Robertson will hand it off. Richard Reese into the ball game, returning after he missed out on the last 2 games.
This second down play will determine whether Texas Tech starts using their timeouts.
Remember, they had to use 1 to keep the quarterback in the game when his helmet came off during a play. Motion man is Baldwin. Robertson buying time. And run out of bounds around the 32-yard line. Jacob Rodriguez, the top tackler for the Red Raiders, was there with him.
Yeah, Robertson a little bit confused that time. He thought he was getting zone coverage, and he looked up and it was man coverage. He looked for his outlet receiver, and he was covered. And so now this big third down.
And he saved Texas Tech a timeout by running out of bounds.
Absolutely.
See if that proves costly. Clock stopped with 1:16 to go. They need the 35-yard line for a first down. Robertson deep across the middle, and he's got it. Out across midfield, and it's Ashton Hawkins.
What a throw, and what a catch by Hawkins. I mean, this was into the teeth of zone coverage, and he just really pinpointed that thing.
21 yards. Longest reception of the day. Throwing it again, and Baldwin did not have his head turned back to the quarterback. 2nd and 10 coming up, under a minute to go.
You think about Robertson and his being in this position, being the guy now. And Jake Spavital told us yesterday that in his career, he's had 5 quarterback battles and did not win a single one, including this season. He was the backup, but he accepted it and said he'd be ready when he got his chance, and he has performed.
They have a field goal kicker that has made a 51-yarder already this year. Stepping up. Oh, what a play. Dropping it off and wide open underneath. Reese on the run inside the 25-yard line, and what an improv for Robertson.
Dare I say, shades of Patrick Mahomes, or today, Cam Ward.
Turns it into a jump pass. 1st and 10, plenty of time with 3 timeouts. They'll grind it out on the ground with Reese. And a timeout called by Baylor down to the 24.
This is a blitz. He recognizes that he's under duress and he can't have time to get the ball out. And look at what I found. My buddy, Richard Reese.
First action today for Reese on this drive, and he's got a couple of plays.
Remember when we talked about not overthinking, just react? That was react.
35 seconds. 35 seconds.
They'll get an extra second on the reset of the clock. This would be a huge turnaround for Baylor after Texas Tech looked like it might take the momentum into the locker room, and now Baylor looking for more points.
Yeah, they got plenty of time with 35 seconds, 2 timeouts. They're in position where they can take shots at the end zone. Sometimes you get too close to the end zone and you don't have enough room to run the routes and the like that you want. So this is a good area on the field to take a shot where the defense still has a lot of ground that they've got to cover.
Second down and 6. Empty set. Robertson across the middle, caught at the 5, diving down to the 1-yard line is the big tight end Michael Trigg, but he may have pushed off to create space.
The receivers have lots of tricks for getting a little space.
Pass interference, number 1, offense. 15-yard penalty, second down.
But what officials are looking for are the extended hands, elbows essentially locked out. Whenever you go that far, you'll be flagged. And that one was before the ball was in the air, or just as it was being released.
Flags were coming from both directions.
Yeah, he completely pushed off, extended both hands.
Can Baylor cash in here and pick up some points? They're also going to receive the kickoff to open the second half.
You're talking about a 2-for-1.
Second and 21 with time. Finds a man at the 25. And it's Hawkins again. Lux on the coverage. Now the clock becoming an enemy.
Well, they've got the timeouts to use, and they burn one right here. 13 seconds. And a timeout.
Baylor, their second of the half.
So they've got
30 seconds. Clock operator,
so because they have the timeout, they can throw the ball or run the ball anywhere on the field right now because they can stop the clock. They can take a shot in the end zone. They can run it if they need to.
Hey, don't forget to kick off your Week 7 NFL Sunday with the Countdown Crew. Sal Paolantonio talks with Saquon Barkley as he gets set to return to New York as an Eagle. And what the addition of Devontae Adams does for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, plus all the latest news from Adam Schefter. It's Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN and the app. 17-14 our score here. Baylor in front on the road. They've got 14 seconds to work with the ball, and a 3rd and 12. Richard Reese, the offset back. Robertson to the outside, caught inside the 10-yard line by Michael Trigg. They go right back to the tight end.
What a throw and what a catch. And the matchup they wanted. They got Trigg, who is 6'4", 245 pounds, against a smaller safety. He was up against Brendan Jordan, and there is no way for Jordan to get around that big body.
So they choose to call the timeout here instead of getting to the line of scrimmage with a spike and then still having a timeout left.
Well, they have to believe that they can get one play off, one shot at the end zone.
Yep.
And if they miss it, they can kick the field goal.
Yep.
But you have to be careful with that. You cannot be in the middle of the field. And Robertson has to remember, he cannot scramble and run around or he'll bleed out the clock. This has got to be part of the quick game. 1, 2, 3, throw it.
They have taken advantage of one of the most porous pass defenses in the country. They've thrown for 73 yards on this drive alone.
Well, that goes back to the inability to get to the quarterback for Texas Tech. That's been a season-long problem.
Reese with Robertson in the backfield. Looking left and now coming back the other way. Into the back of the end zone. Josh Cameron, touchdown, Baylor.
Wow. How about that composure for your quarterback? And this is a guy who has not started a lot of games. He's got 8 seconds. He's counting in his head. And he is waiting for Cameron to come back into view in the middle of the field. He starts scanning to his left and comes all the way back, knowing Cameron is at the back of the end zone. Little zone coverage down there, and the hole, the big hole when you play that sort of a fence coverage on the goal line is the back of the end zone.
What a counter punch for Baylor. 9 plays, 75 yards here in the final 2 minutes. After Texas Tech had grabbed the momentum, the Bears have it right back. And they will get the ball to start the second half as well. Extra point, Hankins, good. 24-14. 0-3 in the league, trying to knock out 3-0 in the league.
The question coming in was whether Texas Tech is for real. They felt slighted and disrespected that they're not in the top 25. And Baylor is bringing it today. And the guy who's really been bringing it is the quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. The adventures of Sawyer Robertson. And on this drive, he was big time. Getting rid of the ball, not overthinking it, just reacting, like on this jump pass, finding his man Reese to get him down the field, and then down when they needed it, coming up with big throws, being clutch. 5 of 6 on this drive for 79 yards and the touch. Wow.
There's your passing yards for the ball game now. On the afternoon, Robertson, 13 of 22 for 141 yards, and that 6-yard TD pass to Josh Cameron. And the squibber here misplayed in the back, and this should take care of the rest of the time on the clock. Let's see if they stop it with a second left. Special teams, an adventure in this first half for the Red Raiders, and they will let it run. 24-14, the score at the half. Baylor with the lead over Texas Tech, and trying to knock the Red Raiders out of first place in the Big 12. Let's send it down to Lauren on the field.
Coach, the word you used this week was belief. How much belief do you have in your football team right now as you guys are up going into the second half?
I've got a lot of belief in them. I mean, we got to believe in the guy to our right or left. You know, I think our season so far, we've been in tight games and haven't won them. The team we're playing has been in tight games and won them. And so it's going to be a tight game to the end. Kind of knew this coming in, and so we got to keep fighting. So far, what stands out to you about your defensive performance, limiting the deep ball, limiting the run so far? We're trying to play a lot more zone than what they have seen. The bye week helped us with that. But, you know, they hit some curls and were able to move the ball this last drive, so we have to get that corrected. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
24-14, Baylor with the lead over Texas Tech this afternoon in Lubbock, as we send it back to the studio with Kevin Connors, the principal financial. 31-2, coming out of the locker room with a double-digit lead. That's what they've got right now. They're also going to get the football first to start out this third quarter. Beth Mullins alongside Rod Gilmore. When you win all 3 phases in that first half, you're going to be up by 10 points.
Yeah, and we really shouldn't be surprised. This is the Big 12. I mean, it's so competitive that the team that you think can't win gets in the driver's seat. It's been happening all season.
They've done a nice job defensively containing this Tech offense. And Sawyer Robertson, the comeback, coming home kid from right here in Lubbock, has been running a good show from that quarterback spot for Baylor, and all kinds of fireworks to open up.
It'll be respotted for the kickoff.
As the ball comes off the tee. A misfire on several counts.
Blame that on the wind.
After Texas Tech got within 3, Baylor took it the length of the field in the final 2 minutes to score a touchdown to get the 10-point lead to start out this third. And the fireworks go off, the tortillas are flying. And another kick out of bounds.
The ball will be placed at the 35 yards.
The Baylor defense really kind of got things going in the first half. They came in wanting to shut down Brooks in the inside running game. They did. Penetration, setting the edge, all worked perfectly for them. And then great job of harassing the quarterback, Baron Morton. So that first half, the Baylor Bears defense stood tall.
And they've given their offense a chance to make plays. They've given them some short fields with their special teams work.
And Sawyer Robertson, the quarterback, has been terrific for the Bears. Dare I say, this has been personal for him today?
Played at nearby Coronado High School. They'll run it here on first down with Dawson Pendergrass. The fun story before we kick this thing off was the Baylor folks asking Sawyer, how many tickets do you need for this game? He said, probably none. Most of my family will be in the stands wearing red today because they're season ticket holders.
How about that?
But a large contingent rooting for Sawyer as well. Some time, then runs out of time and tosses that one away, and it's going to be third down coming up.
So remember, when he was starring at high school here in Lubbock, so was Baron Morton, his counterpart for Texas Tech, and Texas Tech chose Morton over Robertson. So when we say this is his homecoming and it's a little personal, we mean it.
Now can the Tech defense bow up and stop him? On third down, and it's batted down. C.J. Baskerville, the senior safety out of North Richland Hills, Texas, makes the play.
Playing down in the box, trying to bring a little bit of pressure. He gets up, and he has some athleticism. 6'3", 210-pound senior who transferred from San Diego State. Wants to have a career in the hedge fund business after he is done with professional football.
All right.
Finance major.
We got a change in the punt returner here. It's Josh Kelly receiving inside the 15 and immediately hammered and taken down. Excellent coverage by Caleb Parker. And again, deep in their own territory to start out for the Tech offense.
Well-timed hit. And the question now for Texas Tech is what adjustments did they make at halftime to try and loosen up that defense where they haven't been able to get any shots down the field?
Maybe Lauren's got some info for that. Lauren?
Yeah, some of the key adjustments. Coach McGuire said it's us, and he said especially on special teams. That's where we are really shooting ourselves in the foot, and we got to get that back. He said, let's just get back in the moment. Let's play our football. Come out, play strong on defense. Obviously, they did well there, and then get back in the offensive rhythm that they need to. Play our ball, get back in the moment, and y'all know, no regrets.
That's right.
That's no regrets.
Let's see if they can get Taj Brooks cranked up. He had 62 yards on 16 carries in the first half. No gain of 6 there. And it's 2nd and 4 for the third leading rusher in the country at 136 yards per game. He is, with his runs today, moved into the top 10 all-time career rushers in Big 12 history. And they'll add to that tally, and a first down out across the 25.
They actually caught Baylor bringing a blitz. Little game, linebackers a little bit out of position, running right by what's happening inside. And now you got linemen blocking the remaining backers inside.
First down and 10. Their best drive of the day was on their last possession late in that second quarter when they scored a touchdown. Looking to go over the top and hauled in at the 40-yard line. The first time they've been able to go deep on Baylor today.
One of the few times that Baylor got out of its too high safety look, and their free safety could not come over and provide enough help in time.
32 yards to Josh Kelly. And that pass into the turf, tipped by Matt Jones.
And that catch by Josh Kelly, that's the longest pass completion of the day for Texas Tech. They only had 2 plays 20 yards or more at the half. So right now they've gotten a much better start to this game.
Both of those through the air. Brooks, his long carry today was 12 in the first half. Taj in the pistol. Gets the call. Bounces to the outside. Picks up a couple of yards. The push forward may get him 4. Devin Bobby and Corey Gordon. Again, they're getting helmets, multiple helmets on the runner.
Yep, we talked about that at the top of the show. You want to tackle that guy? Bring your buddies, because
plural.
Really, really hard for one guy to take him down.
All right, who wins the 3rd down and 6? 3 for 8 today for Texas Tech.
I doubt that we'll see man coverage here.
Only 3 guys coming. Morton off the pump, will run for it, shoved out of bounds short by a couple of yards. It's 4th down.
You want to guess as to what Joey McGuire is going to do here?
Is he calling for Taj time?
Yeah, he's going to go for this. And he trusts nobody more than Taj Brooks, and he's bringing in his tight ends.
Got a good spot, too, at the 31, so it's 4th down and 1.
He's got Mason Tharp, number 80, who's 6'9", 270, and Conyers, who's 265 and 6'4". And he's got the 3rd tight end in there also.
It is Brooks. Brooks gets to the outside, and it's a foot race for the pylon. Taj Brooks, touchdown, Texas Tech.
Oh, the jump cut, and he goes lateral. He's at full speed, and again, the power, the explosiveness to make that move and then outrun everybody. I mean, he's staring at you, and then that jump cut changes everything.
I don't know if Joey McGuire's a paint peeler trying to motivate his guys in the locker room, but this is a different look. Their 2 longest plays, the longest pass play of the day, and they follow it up with the longest run play of the day. The jump cut, finding pay dirt, yeah, touchdown.
He's going to do that. He is phenomenal.
So the momentum swings back to the fellas in red. And how does Baylor respond?
And
check
that
out Brooks'
touchdown
work.
tells you everything you need to know about. The edge player, Bobby, number 3, comes crashing down, and Brooks patiently could see it, feel it, and jumps to the outside with that jump cut and is on his way. 3 tight ends in on that play, and they all did great, including John Carlos Miller, who's gone both ways today.
Yes.
Defensive end and tight end, provided great blocking.
He made sure Bobby could not get back to the outside. So back to Sawyer Robertson's turn. First and 10 from the 25. He's got Bryson Washington with him. Takes the pitch. Across the 30 and a good first down run. Picks up 7. Jake
Baylor,
Rodriguez, the tackle.
Yeah, Baylor's looking up and seeing Texas Tech play 2 safeties 15 yards deep. And they're saying, well, that's an invitation to run. If they're going to play deep, that's a light box. and will run against it.
Texas Tech playing some substitutions here to match Baylor to make sure they are ready to go. Reese trying to get the edge. And he does. First down out across the 40 to the 41.
It's good to see Reese sort of get the reps and be back out there. He's finally healthy. You know, he had a tremendous season two years ago. And last year's offense, really, that wide zone really wasn't it for him. In this offense, he's getting a few more touches and he's getting to the edge a bit more.
Yeah, he set the freshman rushing record and was the Big 12 Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. They'll go back to the air. Cameron breaks a tackle, and he's down inside the 35-yard line. Another big play for the Baylor offense, and a hookup of 26.
He is a big man. He's 220 pounds, and you cannot take him down with an arm tackle.
That's his third catch, including a touchdown catch. Baldwin takes the reverse and locked up after about 3 yards. Lauren?
Yeah, offensive coordinator Matt Spavital talked about the biggest difference with Sawyer being in the game, that they're starting to find their identity. Earlier on, they were trying to figure out who they were, the injuries, the moving parts, tough to find a rhythm. But now with Sawyer at the helm, they feel more focused on what they need to do, pushing more explosive plays, finding that balance in the run-pass game, and making the most of their opportunities.
Well, Lauren, the big thing that's happening is they are protecting Robertson. He has not been under duress too often today. And remember, last season, this team gave up 6 sacks, and the quarterback was hit a dozen times.
Reese shoved out of bounds inside the 30. Horn was there defensively, and it's going to bring up, let's see where they spot him, 3rd down and 3. Robertson follows Pendergrass up the middle, and he appears to be a yard short. Trevin McAlpine with the stop.
Decision
Baylor
time.
with a 4th down.
Decision time for Dave Aranda. He knows momentum is swinging to Texas Tech, and he wants to stop that. And Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday he knew it was going to be a shootout. No one wants to settle for field goals.
They go for it a ton. 22nd time this season. They're better than 50% on 4th down. Again, QB calls his own number and he slides inside the 20. First down, Bears.
Well, he's their big running back. They don't have a 220-pound guy who can run the football inside. He's the 220-pound guy. And in critical moments, they want him to run the football.
The drive continues. Robertson pitches to Pendergrass. They will pull him forward, still on his feet inside the 15 and all the way down to the 10-yard line. Some muscle from Baylor.
This is a drive. This is a situation for Dave Aranda to show his team, I believe we will win this game. I believe you will make the plays. He's talked about belief. That's why he didn't go for that field goal. He is like, we are going to play aggressively, and we're going to believe we can win this game. And that's what this is about down here.
10th play of the drive, 2nd and 1. Trying to answer the Texas Tech touchdown from a moment ago. Receiver screen, Cameron's got it, and he scores. Touchdown, Baylor. 2nd one of the day for Josh.
Nothing fancy about this. Just 2 receivers out there, quick screen, and the other receiver has got to throw a block for you, and he gets that block from, I think that was Michael Trigg. I think that was the tight end. And that is a big blocker out there at 6'4", 246, taking on a corner. They saw that matchup and went right to it.
Big response from Baylor. Extra point is good, and it is back up to a 10-point lead for Dave Aranda's side. 6:17 to go in the third. Decision-making, Rod, especially on the last two drives that have been the difference.
Absolutely correct. His running the football, only 14 yards, but key third and fourth down runs, and his composure in the pocket, and he's been showing off his arm strength today.
31-21, the Bears looking for their first Big 12 win of the season, trying to hand Texas Tech its first loss of the season and knock them out of first place. BYU, a win last night puts them a shade in front of both Texas Tech and Iowa State. Iowa State coming up later tonight.
Crowd seems a little bit on edge right now.
They are playing Central Florida this evening. And a look back at that last drive for Baylor.
Yeah, it was so much about Robertson and what he was doing. Great throw on the run to Cameron. And then the composure in the pocket on the short situation to pick up the fourth down, and then the quick pitch, screen, touchdown throw with a great block by the tight end Trigg. And just like that, he can chest bump and point to folks and find his family in the stands and all his relatives out here today.
Cameron with 4 catches, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Can Tech answer?
They did just moments ago, the last time they had the ball, and flags flying on first down.
Holding, number 97, defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Cooper Lands, the nose tackle.
Cooper Lands, 97, is in the middle of your screen there. And he held someone, and then he got held.
Texas Tech out to their 35. And a 1st and 10.
Unclear what the holdup is.
Yeah.
Enforcement of the penalty takes the ball to the 36-yard line. First down.
Let's see how Baylor plays defensively. They switched up their defense once on that earlier drive and went to a man coverage situation and paid for it. Let's see if they stay away from that now and stick with their zone, their soft zone, which has prevented the deep throw. Well, most of the first half anyway.
That's that 3-man front again, too, covering up the center. Brooks still able to weave his way out across the 40 and a gain of 5.
He is so very patient. He allows his linemen to really complete their blocks before he decides where he's going to go.
Second and 5 for Morton. Deep down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Dre McCray, who had a chance at it, jumping over Carl Williams.
I'm just really impressed at how often Texas Tech correctly gets that matchup on Williams in the man coverage situation. It isn't always there, but when it is, they find it and they go after it.
Williams is the sophomore from Baton Rouge, and it's a 3rd down. Have converted just one of their last 6. And this pass is caught by Josh Kelly, and they will convert here. Going after Carl Williams again.
Smart throw. Zone pressure. They brought overload on the left side and then dropped out coverage.
Before the ball was snapped, we were paged by replay. The previous play is under further review.
Are they checking the catch or the spot?
Ruling on the field was a catch for 1st down yardage.
I don't think there was much question that he caught it. Looking at that replay, that ball never appeared to be near the ground as he rolled over with it. This may have more to do with
where he landed.
Did he get the 1st down?
The spot of the ball is at the 47.
After further review, the ruling of a catch is confirmed. 1st down.
Drive continues here for Texas Tech. .5:05 to go in the 3rd. Down 10.
Showing man coverage.
And a false start.
One of the tell signs.
Number 67 offense.
Of man
5-yard
coverage.
penalty. Still 1st down.
Both cornerbacks were on the same side of the field. So on that occasion, Johnson, number 18, went from his right cornerback position to the left to cover the slot receiver. I picked it up. I'm sure Morton picked it up right away.
So now 1st and 15. Brooks caught around the line of scrimmage. May have picked up one. Jackie Marshall, the D lineman. Trevin Ma'ai also in the mix.
Yeah, this defensive line, this front has done a tremendous job. I know that Brooks is over 100 yards for the day, but this is light years better than they've played the run most of the season. Remember, Iowa State had 265 last week.
Second down, 14. 8 drop in coverage, and they get the interception. Picked off by Baylor. Caden Jenkins.
That is a case of Morton believing he's getting man coverage again. And instead, it was the corner rolled up in kind of a short area zone coverage, kind of a cover 2. Him short with the safety deep behind him. And the corner said, oh, look at here. I'm just looking for the ball. What a surprise. In Lubbock, 31-21 Baylor. Texas Tech just turned it over when quarterback Baron Morton misread the coverage. He thought it was man-to-man, maybe with a safety deep. Instead, Caden Jenkins was playing a little zone underneath and just faded right back into the line of vision, and a big, big turnover that sets up Baylor now in Texas Tech territory and a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, for Baron Morton, 14 touchdowns without an interception at home prior to that play. And now Sawyer Robertson going back to work, and the slide down inside the 35.
Well, the one thing Baron Morton was great with was protecting the football.
Yep.
I mean, he had only thrown 2 picks all season, which is phenomenal. And that one there was just a misread of the coverage time.
Robertson with time, and a man open at the 10, and it's caught inside the 5, into the corner of the end zone, touchdown.
Are you
Hal Presley scores for Baylor.
kidding me? He throws a laser between the safety and the corner. Blown coverage here. Simply a mistake on how quickly coverage was coming over and how much contact and coverage you needed with the corner up there. Just a completely blown assignment on the back end.
Extra point is good. And Baylor stunning the homecoming crowd here in Lubbock, 38-21.
And Sawyer Robertson wasted no time. As soon as he saw that, he threw that out there. Braylon Lutz, the corner number 0, was in the short area. And then he had a safety behind him. And when you are playing that way, Beth, you cannot allow the receiver to run freely down the field. Even if you have the short area, you have to hit him and hold him up to give your safety time to come over and help. But on that occasion, didn't work. Didn't get it done.
What a day for Sawyer Robertson with the 3 touchdown passes. Bryson Washington, a couple of touchdown runs, and a Baylor defense that has been much more stout than in the last several weeks for Dave Aranda.
Think about how this second half began. Texas Tech comes out, gets a score, makes it a 3-point game. The crowd is into it, momentum is coming, and then Baylor showed poise and confidence and fought back and have opened up a 3-possession lead now.
They score again in under a minute, needed just 3 plays. 3:08 to play. And Texas Tech in need of some points. They've fallen down 17 here at home to Baylor. Last time they had it, the interception from Baron Morton, picked off by Caden Jenkins. Taj Brooks cut down behind the line of scrimmage. Carl Williams.
That'll teach you to pick on me. Tested me down the field a couple times. I'll get in there and make a play in the backfield. Good for him. Carl Williams, 6'1", 185 sophomore from Louisiana, Baton Rouge.
They really like his toughness. He's been dinged up.
Playing through it.
Yep, the bye week helped, the coaches told us. Spent a lot of time with the athletic trainers. Now it's 2nd and 12 for Texas Tech. Play action. Morton under duress. And has to heave it towards the sideline.
Oh, well, he's down, but also he didn't have a receiver in that area. I don't know if he was outside of the pocket.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside of the pocket, and the ball got to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
Yep, okay, outside the pocket. But he did take a hit.
Good pressure from Baylor, and it's 3rd down and 12.
How much pressure does Baylor bring here? And if so, I assume they'll play zone behind it. Drop 8.
Crossing route underneath. Douglas fighting for good yardage, but not quite enough. It's 4th down and a couple. Now the offense will stay. Well, with the clock running towards the 2-minute stoppage here coming up. Or excuse me, only 3rd quarter. So they're going to let that run.
Yeah, Joey McGuire is starting to count possessions left in the game, and he's thinking, I can't kick this one away because there may not be enough possessions with being down 3.
First down, out across the 45. Miller with the catch, and they convert. Gain of 13.
Just a pop pass to the tight end Miller, who came across in motion.
quick to the line, batted up in the air, incomplete. Cooper Land's got a hand on it, the freshman up front.
Yeah, so again, McGuire thinking about the rationale for going there. You're down 3 possessions. How many more possessions will you get heading into the fourth quarter? Maybe 4 for the game? If you're lucky, 5, but that's unlikely. So he's feeling like every possession is gold right now.
And they've been struggling to stop Baylor's offense. Morton hit, sacked, and down he goes. Steve Linton, the former Red Raider, got there.
Linton, it's not like they don't know him. He did this to Baylor last year with 3 sacks. And as we talked to players yesterday, they were like, yeah, we know. We're looking forward. It's going to be fun to meet up with him. Well, he's getting the better of it today.
Blew past Dalton Merriman off that right edge. Final minute, third quarter.
Simulated pressure.
They'll drop 8, only 3 guys coming. Brooks out of the backfield. And they take him down around the 42-yard line. Reed and Williams.
That defense is flying around. You can see the confidence in their effort. You can see the belief in their effort. They are rallying to the ball. 3-4 guys around after Taj Brooks on that last play.
And they will not go for it here on this 4th down. 13 yards to go, so the punting unit is on. And the Baylor defense stands tall. Fair catch around the 13-yard line. Boy, and the other thing this lead does now is you kind of take Taj Brooks away from the Texas Tech offense.
Yeah,
they're going to have to throw it a lot here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. And if you're Baylor, you're thinking, let's be deliberate on offense, but it's too soon to pull it in. Because right now you figure there are 3 more possessions that Texas Tech will get. Maybe 4, but probably 3. And so you need to burn clock, have a long drive, or you got to get another score.
Robertson and the Bears from their own 14. Likely the final play of this third quarter. Out into the flat. And out to the 20-yard line for Bryson Washington. They've been good through 3. Can they finish it up? The Baylor Bears on the road. Sawyer Robertson back home in Lubbock. And a 38-21 lead.
Going to take to get back in the moment now in the 4th quarter?
We're going to have to take some chances here, try to knock the ball out, bring more pressure to get them into some negative plays. We haven't done that. They've played really comfortable, and then we've got to do a good job. We're going to have to start pushing the ball down the field to try to take some shots and make some big plays.
What'd you tell your team in the huddle there?
Yeah, just right there. I mean, I really believe the 4th quarter is his own game, you know, and we've got to come out here and we got to get a stop right here, and then we've got to go down and get this to a 10-point game and then go from there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you, Lauren Sisler, with Joey McGuire, the head coach for Texas Tech. His team trails by 17 to start this 4th quarter.
And the risk of taking chances is trying to rip the ball out. You don't tackle, and you give up longer runs.
Like that. First down run. That's Washington again, out across the 40-yard line.
This offensive line starting to really assert itself. You get a good double team on the nose, and both of those linemen climbing to the linebackers, sealing them off. Huge, huge hole.
Tend to work a lot of clock too on these possessions for Baylor. First and 10, more of Washington. Big hole up the middle, breaks a tackle. And a burst into open field, down inside the 25-yard line for Bryson Washington.
The work of the center, Colton Price, is just phenomenal. He's got a nose guard over him. He turns him, and then you get a nice little pull from the right guard, Ibedion, coming over, and just domination up front, inside by the center and right guard, opening that huge hole, the third first down in this series.
34 yards there. He's got a 44-yard run as well. He's over 100 yards. And a career high, and they're looking for more points. Diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Monterey Baldwin. And a flag down on the play.
I think that flag is for the celebration, the dive into the end zone. Come on. Come on. Let him enjoy it. Pick it up. Pick it up. Didn't Reggie Bush start that?
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4 on the offense. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Now, if you're Dave Aranda, I'd say to my guy Baldwin, the only time you can do that
first foul for unsportsmanlike
is when we're up 3 scores. Any other time, that can't happen.
We'll let you get away with it once.
That one time.
Yes.
But I'm not a fan of throwing the flag in those situations.
Baylor with the dagger here to open up this fourth quarter. More than doubling up Texas Tech football. Baylor shocking a lot of folks around the Big 12 with this performance today, and a 45-21 lead here in the fourth quarter. Defense has done the job. Quarterback Sawyer Robertson has done the job. And they are in command as we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by VRBO.
You see one Big 12 team, Iowa State, in the top 10, and the heavy influence of the SEC, Big 10, 3 Big 10 teams in the top 5. How about that?
That's your college football rankings, brought to you by Verbo. Of course, still to come tonight, Texas and Georgia in Austin on ABC. 2 quarterbacks projected to go in the first round in this year's NFL draft. Texas fighting to stay undefeated and atop the SEC, atop the national rankings.
Big hit here at the end by Baylor's defense. And listen, you have to give Dave Aranda credit for this thing coming together today. He was saying that they were so close, and they lost some close games they probably should have won, but they were so close. And you can see today what he's been talking about. He himself more comfortable now calling the defense, and then the offense coming together with Robertson having a huge day.
Morton dropped. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Hey, and I think it's worth adding, he's really leaning into this whole defensive play calling thing, really spreading himself thin and having to stay energized. He said he's drinking 6 to 7 cups of coffee in the morning. He's up at 3 a.m., asleep at midnight. He did say he looks forward to Wednesdays when the stress tempo, when they do tempo at practice, so they finish a little early. And then on Fridays in the hotel, he says he gets a little extra sleep. But, for him, it's really just leaning into this, having that belief, like you said, Rod, and, just trying to take this defense over and make some changes.
You can see this thing coming together, and the issue for Baylor, they were late to the party on NIL and the transfer portal.
They had 3 transfers 3 years ago, then up to 13, and now this year 22.
Yeah, so now they have finally, as an entire program, embraced the portal and embraced NIL. When they didn't embrace NIL, they had a lot of players that they lost that went other places. And so Aranda's trying to find a way to get comfortable and get the administration comfortable with what the modern day game is. And now they seem to have found that mix, and these players are coming together, and they are close. You can see that.
Looking for their first Big 12 win of the season and handing Texas Tech its first Big 12 loss of the season. And they do not get it. Another big stop for the Baylor defense. Devin Bobby, the first guy there. He'll take it over on downs.
right, so you're going to see a lot of tortillas flying on the field here in Lubbock, Texas, and you want to know where this tradition came from. Well, it kind of originated back in the late 80s. There's not really a clear path to how it all started, but basically you're going to see these tortillas flying on the field. But here's the deal. You got to bite the middle out so it'll fly further, so we're going to see how this goes. Okay, I think we're good here. Got the hole, right? That looks pretty good, okay? Let's see how far I can send this bad boy. Ready? Oh, wow, wow. Boo, I just got booed real hard, y'all.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Was that a 6-yard pass?
6-yard pass. We're
That
going to
did
try
not
this
even
one more
get out of
time
the
after
end
this
zone,
play.
Lauren.
Hold on, we're going to try this one more time.
Baylor taking over on downs and trying to add on to this big lead. All right, Lauren, second chance.
All right, so second chance. I'm told I'm going to get thrown out because you have the confidence. You have to sneak
Give it
these
some
into
air.
the game.
Give it some air.
All right, ready? Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
That actually
that
was
thing is
worse
so
than the
flimsy.
first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot harder than it looks, y'all.
All right, take some practice.
All right, we're going to go one more time. Hold on. After this. All right, ready? We're going to go one more time. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Do it.
All right.
Get some green grass.
Have you never
Oh,
thrown
my
a
gosh,
frisbee?
y'all. That is awful.
Have you never thrown a frisbee, Lauren?
It's just so flimsy.
First and 10 Bears. They're in the red zone. They're going to run it. And inside the 15 with Pendergrass.
Now, you know that McGuire and Aranda are good friends.
Yes.
And you have to believe that Aranda does not want to run up the score. But it's so early in the fourth quarter, you cannot tell your players here in this situation, stop running, stop playing, or take a knee. I mean, there's so much time left. You gotta play it out.
They've been able to chew up this Texas Tech defense. Almost 450 yards today with the 45 points up. 3 touchdown passes for Sawyer Robertson. 4. And that's Pendergrass weaving his way.
I can't help but think about Baylor fans and the thought of what if they hadn't given up the Hail Mary to Colorado.
Yeah. Probably will hang around for a while.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you can see what this team is capable of. And had they not lost that game to Colorado late, their entire narrative, their entire season would look different.
3rd down and 5. Robertson looking to the end zone, back shoulder. Josh Cameron waiting for the signal from the officials.
They have not
And they've
signaled.
got it.
Oh, there it is.
Touchdown.
Wow, that took a while.
Number 5 on the day for Robertson.
Have a day for yourself. Sawyer Robertson coming back home. The adventures of Sawyer Robertson took him to Mississippi State and then to Baylor. Longtime Texas Tech fan, not offered out of high school here. And now he's back home in front of friends and family. 5 touchdowns on the day.
21 of 32 for 274 yards.
It's a beautiful sort of back shoulder throw to his main guy, Josh Cameron, out there.
That's his 3rd touchdown catch of the day.
Yeah, Cameron having a day also. I mean, this is really all come together for Baylor, that is. Waiting for their defense to really put, and again, I give credit to Aranda because he did 2 things. One, he refused to allow deep balls over their head in the secondary, played a soft coverage zone, kept the ball in front, tackled hard, and then secondly was committed to taking away the inside run for Taj Brooks. And they did those 2 things, and that got them a lead. And once they got the big lead, now Brooks becomes irrelevant. And then the other side of that is, man, Robertson.
How about 5 touchdown passes, the most for a Baylor quarterback in 9 years? You got to go back to Seth Russell.
Played with a lot of poise.
How about a studio update? I think good one in SEC country. Another good one coming up with Texas and Georgia later tonight.
Can't wait.
Indiana with another big win today. Illinois knocking off Michigan today. And of course, Army and Navy still rolling along. Combined for 96 points in their wins today. Both remain undefeated. Here's a look at your next games up, including that Georgia-Texas showdown. 7:30 Eastern on ABC. And a result right now that would knock Texas Tech out of a first-place tie, and they would fall behind at least BYU. Iowa State to play tonight against Central Florida, looking for a share of the lead.
But even falling out of first place, this race is far from over in the Big 12. One loss would not eliminate Texas Tech in the chase for the Big 12 championship game.
And that's the key now. You just got to get into that final.
Yep.
And then the winner of that one is in the playoff.
There's a ways to go. BYU undefeated in conference play. Iowa State, Texas Tech will get Iowa State in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they've got Iowa State and Colorado back-to-back. Incomplete on that throw. BYU, I don't believe, has either one in the regular season. Texas Tech or Iowa State.
But it is going to be a race. Going to be quite a race. And again, as you pointed out, you just have to get into the championship game. If you win the Big 12, you're in the playoff, and you will be one of the top 4 seeds, more than likely. More than likely.
Had there been a 12-team playoff last year, if you were a Power League one-loss team, you were in.
Yep.
And 4 teams with 2 losses would have gotten in last
Please
year.
put the play clock at 25 seconds.
The other thing
please
is,
reset the game clock to 8:33.
I just think it's
8:33.
there is a group of 5
Thank you.
component. The best group of 5 team does get a bid, and that might knock out a blue blood.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Well, and in theory, a group of 5 team could be one of the highest 4 ranked conferences and push down a Power 4 conference.
Out on the perimeter, Jordan Brown. It's going to be 3rd down.
But I think the race between now and the end of November is going to be spectacular because there are so many teams in it. We didn't have this in prior years. For 12 spots, now we have 25, 30 teams that are in the mix going into November. That's so cool.
Here comes 4th down. For Baron Morton, 191 yards throwing. He's got a touchdown and an interception today.
See, I might consider punting this ball. Just because if you don't make this again, you're going to give Baylor another short field. And you don't want the score to get much more out of hand than it is. It's already at 31.
They've converted on 3 of 4 4th downs. And they'll keep the drive alive here out to the 49-yard line. Jordan Brown again with a catch. Morton on the move. Nowhere to go with it. Good coverage downfield for the Baylor defense.
Well, the deep shot isn't available. I mean, Baylor that time dropped 3 guys deep, a 3 deep coverage, and so there was no way to get the ball or the receivers beyond that coverage, and that's what Morton was waiting for. He was trying to wait and see. You see the coverage, you see how deep they are. Deep in the middle, deep on the edges, and then man coverage underneath that.
Pressure up the middle. And a flag flies as the catch is made by Douglas down to the 40-yard line. That'd be good for a 1st down if the play stands.
holding number 15 on the defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
You know, Beth, remember chatting yesterday with the Baylor coaches, Aranda and Jake Spavital. They said they wanted to see the offense create the momentum. They wanted to see the offense help the defense and change the game a bit. And they did that today.
Offense has made the plays. Incomplete. On the throw, broken up by Matt Jones.
We talked about these linebackers, really good set of linebackers at Baylor. Thomas and Jones there. Jones running into the big tight end Tharp, who's 6'9". That's a lot of tight end to tackle.
And second down and 10. Blitz coming up the middle. Pass is caught. First down. See if they mark him inside the 30. That would be enough.
Yeah, flag down. I think that was a high hit on Morton, quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting. Number 45, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The play is under further review.
That's Kylan Reed, the freshman linebacker, coming on a blitz. Had plenty of time to hold up, and he jumped in the air. Anytime you get up around the head or neck of the quarterback, he's defenseless. You're going to get flagged. Even if it isn't targeting, it's going to be a personal foul. But now he's looking at targeting, which if upheld would keep him out of the first half of the next game.
So the officials reviewing. Of course, the other thing this does now for Baylor is it keeps that bowl game possibility in sight. Had they lost today, you got to win 4 of your last 5. Now you've got a much more manageable second half of your schedule. The first half was tougher.
And you have confidence. And you can put on this tape and go, we went on the road and we did this to the team that was undefeated in conference play. The defense played lights out, really held Texas Tech way underneath its average. Special teams came up with plays. And this is what you have left if you're Baylor. Oklahoma State lost one last night to BYU in really heartbreaking fashion for them, and TCU, and then you hit the road. So there will be a shot for Baylor to hit a winning streak and get to the postseason. You know, defensive player, forcible contact, and you need an indicator like a lunch. And in my view, you had all three.
The ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 45 is disqualified from the game.
So Kylan Reed is out. He will miss the first half next week as well, or their next game.
Yeah, a freshman mistake. He's excited. He's blitzing. He's got a chance to get to the quarterback. No need to hit the quarterback high at all. He had a step or two. He could have avoided it. And now he's going to pay the price. A game they have under control. He's going to miss the first half of next week's game.
This will set Texas Tech up in the red zone. Morton, deep across the middle, touchdown. Jacoby Williams out of the backfield.
Really nice route out of the backfield by Williams. Well thrown ball. Right over the middle, in between the safeties, over the linebacker. And tortillas. A lot of folks have left, but the ones that are here, a few of them are throwing the tortillas.
I'm going to go for 2 points here. Morton, incomplete. 52-27. Tech getting some points on the board. Williams for 6. finals. The onside kick from Texas Tech will find its way out of bounds. And with the big lead here, Baylor will get it as we take a look at today's great performance brought to you by State Farm. Got a combo, Rod.
Yeah, it's been the Baylor defense hunting down Morton at quarterback, sacking him, picking him off. And then it was Sawyer Robertson. He's thrown so many touchdown passes today. We don't have time to show you all of them. But here are 3 of them. Finding his guys, including Baldwin and Cameron, getting to the end zone. He has had quite the homecoming to Lubbock, the place where he grew up watching Texas Tech and watching Graham Harrell. And he's got family and friends here. I'd say they're pretty happy with his performance.
Yes, and he's done for the day. Daquan Finn is on at quarterback. Robertson, the 5 touchdown passes, the most for Baylor in 9 years. And Finn, who started the first couple of games and then got hurt, will run that one out of bounds. Second down coming up.
I mean, I get it and I understand Texas Tech trying everything to score and get the ball and whatnot, but it really puts their defense in a tough spot. Short field after short field in a game that they can't win.
Wrapped up at the 35. It's going to be 3rd down and a couple. 461 yards of total offense for Baylor with the 52 points on the board.
Timeout, Texas Tech. Their first of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
And Texas Tech will use a timeout here with 3rd and 2 coming up.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 5:55. 5:55 in the game clock, please.
How about that game later tonight? What are you thinking with that big quarterback showdown, Georgia and Texas?
It's fascinating because this is the kind of game that Georgia shows up for. It's the kind of game where Georgia will give you its best. But I got to tell you, I think Texas is the most complete team, right now in college football. And Quinn Ewers, this is his 2nd week back, from the oblique injury he had. I would expect him to be able to push the ball down the field more. Home game. I think I like Texas in this one.
Texas at home going to be tough. Georgia will try and get in there and get it done. And the Horns, their first loss of the season.
We have 4th down here. This should be a Baylor go for it because otherwise you're looking at about a 52, 53-yard field goal.
And Texas Tech will use another timeout here.
Trying to conserve as much time as possible.
To 5 minutes, 48 seconds.
They'll have 1 left.
Thank you.
Let's send it down to Lauren.
Okay, I want to redeem myself with a tortilla throw. I made some very big rookie mistakes. First and foremost, we used a flour tortilla. It was very fresh, not stale. And that I didn't know. I didn't know any better. And what I didn't realize coming into this game is you actually have to sneak the tortillas in. And sometimes people sneak them in random places, so it makes them a little stale and it helps them to soar a little further. So a lot of rookie mistakes. I guess I learned my lesson. Next time I'll be a little more prepared.
Is the corn better than the flour? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, corn better than it flies further.
And especially on a windy day, I think you'd want that at your back. Here comes Daquan Finn, taking it himself, and he'll score it for Baylor. Touchdown run for the backup, Daquan Finn. And it's 58-27 Baylor.
Yes, and this is what I was talking about. And when you use all this, the onside kick and hurry to score, and you use your timeouts, you are leaving your defense out there. You're hanging them out to dry. And now they're going to have 59 points at least hung up on them. When probably the last 2 scores could have been avoided.
43 yards on the touchdown run for Finn. Extra point is good with 5:40 on the clock.
You know, and I guess some people would say, well, you're losing. What difference does it make? It scores a score. Well, you hope that a game like this doesn't have any lingering effects. You don't want the defense to walk away feeling like, maybe we're not that good.
Yeah.
We gave up 60. It's one thing when you give up 40. When you give up 60, it's like, oh, man. Now you start to question yourself, and your confidence gets rattled, shaken a little bit.
Yeah, not the way that Texas Tech thought this one was going to play out. And what a job by Baylor, that coaching staff, to get the guys ready to go on the road today.
Not the way Dave Aranda thought this
Probably
was
not.
No, he told us at halftime.
Close.
10-point lead. He's like, oh, it's going to be close, They've won close games. We've lost close games. I guess he didn't consider that it might not be close.
Impressive display for the Bears.
I don't think anybody saw this coming.
As we build towards a big night of college football across the state in Austin, getting set for Georgia and Texas. And a look for all you fans at a couple of guys that may go. Mel Kiper thinks they may go in the top 20 picks in the draft. The quarterback matchup.
That often, right? Look, Shedeur Sanders, 12th pick. I think he might go higher than that. I think he's the best quarterback in college football. Imagine if he were playing with an outstanding offensive line.
Cam Ward had a huge day today.
Yeah, he's crazy good.
Sanders accounted for 3 touchdowns. Colorado got a win today. The heave downfield, incomplete, almost picked. So the wild ride around the Big 12 continues with this result here.
Long way from over.
Yeah, another shakeup in the standings. This will knock Texas Tech out of first place. And they'll fall a game behind BYU, possibly Iowa State, pending the Cyclones' outcome tonight. Cincinnati also a winner today, so they improved to 3-1. So there's the look. BYU with that win last night over the Pokes at 7-0. Iowa State still unbeaten.
I don't think you're going to have an undefeated team in the Big 12. And it wouldn't surprise me if your conference champ, had overall 2 losses and at least 1 in the conference.
They're down 8, and they'll convert here to move the chains.
This is one of the few times in the last 2-3 weeks that we've had a Big 12 game that gotten out of hand. I mean, almost every time you do a game or flip on a game with the Big 12, it is a 1-possession down to the wire game.
Morton drops it off to the back. He took a pretty good hit there as well. At what point do you maybe try and take him out?
Yeah, there is so much about how you finish this game, in this game, keeping yourself, keeping your quarterback healthy, keeping your team's morale up.
Because there's a player down, Johnson, in the secondary for Baylor.
And if I were Texas Tech, you spend tomorrow film study, I'm not sure I would watch anything after the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their defense would learn from the 4th quarter when time after time they were set up with short fields, kind of game over, that kind of thing. But I think there's a lot to be learned from how they struggled with some big plays, and they had some mix-ups in the secondary, some blown coverages, and gave up some big throws. I think those things they need to address. But this could be a one-off for Texas Tech. This is the worst they've played, clearly.
you see for Morton. Run play gets him nowhere there. It's going to be 3rd down and long. It will be another 100-yard rushing day for Taj Brooks, but with the score getting out of hand in the 3rd quarter, Baylor was able to take that weapon away in much of the 2nd half.
No reason for Texas Tech to have him in the ball game. Smart to get him out.
Receiver screen. Josh Kelly trying to fight his way forward for a 1st down. Depend on the spot.
Can you imagine what a sigh of relief this is for Dave Aranda? You know, Lauren talked about the 6 cups of coffee he drinks. I mean, I'm not sure he'll be able to relax.
Might not need that tonight. We'll get the 1st down there on 4th.
I mean, he's known that his team has this in them.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for it to show up. You know, close games that they've lost, and they put it together today.
Looking deep in the one-handed grab by Micah Hudson. Their big freshman recruit snagged that one out of the air.
5-star recruit who is really pushing for playing time. He made a similar type catch last week against their last game against Arizona. He's going to have to get on the field. 5-star recruit, biggest recruit ever for Texas Tech.
Kelly trying to hurdle the defender. They go down together out of bounds. Let's see where the spot is. Going to be 1st and goal here for the Red Raiders. From just outside the 7. Morton keeps it. And the slant touchdown. Caleb Douglas, his 3rd touchdown catch of the night.
It's a tremendous job by Caleb Douglas. Defensively, you don't want to let the receiver inside down on the goal line. But he did a great job of getting a little separation and getting inside. You want to force that receiver outside and force the quarterback to throw that ball up and over with a fade. You don't want any line drive throws inside, and that's exactly what Morton delivered.
They'll go for 2 again here. And this time he'll get it. He finds Kelly, 59-35, 2:01 to go. Hey, the next stop on the F1 schedule is the U.S. Grand Prix. Short kick fielded. And immediately down around the 35. Well, the old buddies, the 2 head coaches with ties to one another's schools, Joey McGuire, Dave Aranda, and it's Aranda's Bears getting the best of it at the 2-minute timeout. College football presented by Sling. And a surprising score for most folks outside of Waco. Maybe a few in Waco as well, but the Baylor Bears showed up and showed out today and took a little heat off the seat of their head coach, Dave Aranda, who's still coaching them up down there with 2 minutes to play in the big lead. Baylor about to pick up its first win in league play.
I think
the first loss in Big 12 play for Tech.
I think this tells you a little bit about how the players feel about Dave Aranda. Yeah. They showed up. They've heard all the noise, all the talk about hot seat, and a lot of them probably felt responsible for the mistakes that they made that gave away a couple games. They showed up big time to support their coach today, and they showed out. I mean, this is a huge performance by Baylor.
And what a homecoming for their quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, the Lubbock native. 5 touchdown passes today. And now DeQuan Finn in at quarterback. He's already run for a score.
The only thing left, I think, in this game is to see if Dave Aranda smiles. I mean, you know, he's as intense as ever on that sideline, you know, coaching up his team. But, you know, it's like, it's been a grind, a hard week. You know, man hardly sleeps, and you got one in the bucket now at 59-35. Go ahead and smile a little bit. Enjoy this.
Well earned.
Yeah.
And they are just going to let that clock run down as far as they can.
It comes at the expense of his good friend, Joey McGuire. You know, McGuire is a great high school coach in the state of Texas and got his first collegiate start at Baylor under Matt Rule, and then continued on with Aranda.
And that'll do it. Yeah. Last snap. And Robertson soaking up the moment. 59-35, your final score. And the handshake between the two good friends, McGuire and Aranda. And the Bears beat the Red Raiders here on the road tonight in Lubbock. And they win all three phases of this one.